What's good, fam? Drake just hit a low point that wasn't on anybody's radar for 2026. And this isn't even about Kendrick or the charts. We are looking at a 39-year-old global icon literally barking like a dog for a Goth streamer on camera. Back on August 8th, 2026, the boy jumped on a kick stream and let out 3 distinct offs before whimpering for a girl named Pinkchyu while everyone watched in total confusion.
Drake has conquered streaming, charts, arenas, but the Goth baddie remains undefeated. Here's the bark. Good boy. Yeah. Would you bark for me? Good boy. I get, yeah, you know what the rule is.
I'm like, I know exactly what to do.
This man used to be a GOAT contender who moved with untouchable energy, but now he is out here degrading himself for the 9th anniversary of a gambling platform. This goes beyond a simple meme or a clip that people will forget because it shows a massive shift in his entire career. Drake is clearly in the middle of a desperate midlife pivot since he can no longer find wins on the charts or in the courtroom. The whole disaster happened during a 20 vs. 1 dating show on Kick that the Nelk Boys hosted for their partners at stake. Watching a man of his stature play the role of a thirsty content creator just to get clicks for a betting site was physically uncomfortable. This is pure aura bankruptcy, and the evidence is getting impossible to ignore at this point. Only 2 years ago, Drake was actually giving advice to iShowSpeed and telling him not to bark at women because it ruined his brand.
I get, yeah, you know what the rule is.
I'm like, I know exactly what to do.
August 10th, 2026, he was posting on his Instagram story to retract that advice while leaning into the dog behavior himself. He is essentially admitting that his superstar status is gone, and he is trading it for the messy world of the creator economy. The biggest artist in the world doesn't need to do stunts for the Nelk Boys, but he would do anything for a click when Kendrick has him in a sleeper hold. Wiz Khalifa tried to defend the whole thing on August 15 by saying Drake was just being funny and having a good time. Wiz might think it is lighthearted, but that angle cannot hide the fact that the untouchable aura is gone for good.
So I think he's playing this thing now more of like he's his own media company than he is a rapper, to where he's just not going to go sit down with radio stations.
You cannot be the scary 6 guy one day and then act like a whimpering puppy for a streamer the next without losing all brand respect. This behavior proves he is no longer worried about being the king of hip hop because he is too busy trying to be a viral streamer. For someone who used to run the industry with a single verse, this is a massive step down. We are seeing a cultural leader turn into a guy doing parlor tricks for gambling money, and it is honestly nasty work. His luck on the gambling apps is just as bad as his luck in the recording booth lately. On July 19, 2026, Drake dropped $1.5 million on Argentina to beat Spain in the World Cup final. Anyone who knows about the Drake curse saw the ending coming before the opening whistle even blew.
It reminded me of watching Martin and Dragonfly Jones. Silence. You remember how he'd get his ass whooped and be coming around to get up and start stumbling around?
Argentina actually won the trophy, but Drake lost every penny of that $1.5 million stake because Spain won in extra time. Since his bet was specifically for a win in regulation, he missed a massive payout by just a few minutes. This mirrors his entire career since the Kendrick beef started, where he thinks he is making a power move but loses on a technicality. The numbers over at the Drake Curse website are looking like a total tragedy right now. Drake is currently down $3.06 million on his public bets, and his win rate has crashed to a dismal 36%. He loses more than half the time he puts money on the line, and those losses are a perfect metaphor for his career moves. Every time he doubles down on a new strategy or a fresh beef, he ends up empty-handed and looking like a mark.
Drake has conquered streaming, charts, arenas, but the Goth baddie remains undefeated. Here's the bark. Good boy.
Yeah.
A man who has lost over $3 million should probably evaluate his choices, but he just keeps chasing the next high. This need to gamble with his money and his reputation proves he cannot exist without a spotlight, even if it makes him look like a loser. He is throwing millions into the void while his legal team stays busy trying to blame everyone else for his situation. Stick around, because this midlife crisis is only getting weirder as we move into the legal drama and the subpoenas. While Drake was busy playing around with the Nelk Boys, he took a moment to brag about his legal battles as if he was actually winning something that mattered. During his stream on August 8th, he brought up the Roc Nation subpoenas being cleared to make it sound like he just won a championship in the courtroom.
So I think he's playing this thing now more of like he's his own media company than he is a rapper, to where he's just not gonna go sit down with radio stations.
The actual paperwork reveals a man who seems terrified and is trying to sue anyone who refuses to fall in line. His legal team had the nerve to subpoena Jay-Z's label for Super Bowl information because they are still bitter about Kendrick getting that stage. It is embarrassing to see a rapper who claimed he was the king of the culture trying to drag Jay-Z into a courtroom because he is mad about a football game. This is not a boss move, and instead it shows pure desperation from a man who realizes the industry heavyweights are no longer coming to save him. Targeting Roc Nation is a massive betrayal of the unspoken rules in hip-hop, especially when you consider how much Drake used to look up to Jay-Z.
It reminded me of watching Martin and Dragonfly Jones. Silence. You remember how he'd get his ass whooped and be coming down and get up and start stumbling around?
Trying to force a subpoena on the house Harv built because of a Super Bowl lineup is as low as it gets for someone of his stature. It shows that Drake is willing to burn every remaining bridge just to get a small legal win that might soothe his bruised ego. This is more than just a lawyer tactic because it reveals to the whole industry that he is no longer part of the community he once claimed to lead. He is acting like a corporate entity that is more concerned with discovery and depositions than he is with bars and respect. When he bragged about those subpoenas being cleared, he thought he was showing power, but he only proved that he has become the very thing he used to mock. He went from the cool kid at the party to the guy who calls the cops when the crowd starts cheering for someone else. The legal drama does not stop with Jay-Z, as he is also locked in a pathetic battle with the Universal Music Group that makes him look even more isolated. In January of 2026, he filed an appeal after his original defamation lawsuit over Not Like Us was thrown out by a judge who saw through it. He tried to claim that UMG was responsible for the damage Kendrick did to his reputation, which is like suing a hammer manufacturer after you hit your own thumb. By April of 2026, UMG had seen enough of his antics and issued a response that was a public execution of his legal strategy.
I'm like, nah, they know exactly what to do.
They called his entire lawsuit nonsensical and pointed out that he was trying to treat rap lyrics as if they were sworn testimony in a criminal trial. UMG basically told the court that Drake does not understand the difference between opinion and fact, and hearing that from your own label is nasty work. He has lost the ability to distinguish between a rap beef and a legal procedural, which makes him look weak to the people supposed to be backing his career. Before we move on and see how UMG basically told the world Drake has lost his grip on reality, tell me what y'all think about his own label calling his legal logic nonsensical. Is it nasty work for your own team to say you do not understand the difference between a rap beef and a court case? Tell me in the comments. No cap. And while you at it, like and subscribe. Let's continue. When UMG called his lawsuit nonsensical, they were telling the world that their biggest star had lost his grip on reality. They pointed out the absurdity of a rapper suing over lyrics in a genre that is literally built on hyperbole and battle rap competition.
Drake has conquered streaming, charts, arenas, but the Goth baddie remains undefeated. Here's the bark. Good boy.
Drake trying to hold UMG responsible for the Kendrick fallout is a level of delusion that we have not seen in this industry before. It is as if he expects the corporate structure of the music world to act as his personal security team because he could not handle the pressure from Compton. This legal desperation proves he knows the music is no longer enough to protect him, so he is using the law to silence the truth. The law does not care about his feelings or his dwindling streaming numbers, and UMG making that public was a massive reality check that he was not ready for. If you think the legal side is messy, the music side is a straight up disaster area that he cannot hide with a subpoena. We all remember that massive hype back in May of 2026 when he dropped a triple album just to flood the zone. He pushed out Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor all at once because he thought he could suffocate the charts and stay on top. Instead, the whole culture just yawned, and the critics turned his legacy into a complete bloodbath. People called the project bloated and uninspired, proving he has completely run out of things to say to the public. Listening to Maid of Honor was actually painful because it sounded like a 39-year-old man trying to talk like a teenager, and the fans were not buying that act. For the first time ever, a Drake project did not just miss the hype, it actively poisoned the way people look at his whole catalog.
It reminded me of watching Martin and Dragonfly Jones. Silence. You remember how he'd get his ass whooped and be coming around and get up and start stumbling around.
That triple album release was supposed to be his masterpiece, where quantity beat the quality of his enemies. But the Iceman record just felt like a pile of throwaway tracks from 2017, and Habibti was a desperate grab for an international market that already moved on. Maid of Honor was the worst of the bunch because it was stuffed with those same tired stories about friends betraying him and women not understanding him. When you are almost 40 years old, that sad boy routine is not relatable anymore. It is just plain exhausting to watch. Nobody wants to hear a billionaire complain about his life while he is out here barking for gambling sites on the weekend for a quick check. That triple flop showed the world that the Drake formula is officially broken, and no amount of playlisting can save a product the streets do not want. The final nail in his reputation as the numbers king happened on May 16th when Spotify dropped a correction that ruined his whole week. Drake was bragging about breaking the 2026 single-day streaming record, but the platform had to come out and admit the data was wrong.
So I think he's playing this thing now more of like he's his own media company than he is a rapper, to where he's just not going to go sit down with radio stations.
Confirmed he did not actually break that record, which was a huge blow to his ego since his identity is built on being the most streamed artist alive. Once you lose the beef and the court cases and the streaming crowns, you have absolutely nothing left to brag about in your music. Now you have this man barking on Kick for some Goth streamer because that is the only place left where he can get the instant attention he needs. That Spotify correction was the ultimate humiliation because it hit him right in his pride and his precious statistics. He spent years using those streaming numbers as a shield against any real criticism, but now that shield is shattered and everyone can see the truth. When the platform itself says your records are invalid, there is nowhere left for you to hide from the reality. It just confirms the feeling that the demand for new Drake music has hit an all-time low across the board. People are not rushing to their apps to hear him anymore, and his ego clearly cannot handle that reality. That is why he is pivoting to Kick and barking like a dog, because he needs people to look at him even if they are just laughing at his expense. We are officially living in the Drake fail era, and this is the new normal for the whole industry. Barking for streamers and trying to sue hip-hop royalty like Jay-Z is not going to bring back those years before Kendrick made him look human. He is trying to sue his way back to a spot he lost on the battlefield, and the world sees right through all the smoke and mirrors. He can bark until his throat is sore and file every subpoena in the book, but that aura is gone and it is never coming back. Before we see how the rest of the industry reacts to this whole legal mess, tell me what you think about the situation. Tell me if Drake is officially washed and just doing anything for a clip, or if you think he can actually recover from this dog-level behavior. Tell me in the comments, no cap, and make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss the next breakdown. Let us continue